church, and welcome to this meditation for Thursday morning, May 14th. I hope you're doing well this morning. I hope that any animals in your life let you sleep a little longer than the one in mine. But this morning, we are hearing again the words of Jesus from John 14. I go to prepare a place for you, he says. As we remembered on Sunday, this is one of those causes of life, to know a place of safety, of connection, of rootedness. For many of us, the church is just that place. We might feel what Barbara Brown Taylor once described. She was standing outside a church where she had been called as pastor. She was feeling all of the power of its layered history. It was at the corner of Green and Wilson, she describes, this white frame chapel with huge clear glass windows and green shutters, sitting in this old grove of white pines. I put my hands flat on the side of the church and I thought, was this what happened to wood that had soaked up 150 years worth of prayers? Did all of the devotion just seep into the grain where you could almost feel it? I remember the first time I sat in the grand sanctuary of First Baptist, knowing I was in a holy place, feeling it as I've felt it in so many moments since, from baptisms to memorial services, to Sundays of worship, to baby dedications as a pastor and as a parent, to the moment, the last Sunday we gathered there, when my daughter came down front to tell her church that she wanted to follow Jesus. Many of us hear this reference to place, and we imagine a specific place where we have known God's presence, a specific corner, friendly in Mendenhall, with all of the prayers and the witness that has preceded us there. Of course, today we hear these words of Jesus at a time where we feel somewhat displaced. Sure, we know that church is the people, it's the community, it's the work of the Spirit in our daily lives more than it is any specific building. But still we feel somewhat displaced. We continue to gather and worship distant from a sacred and dearly loved place. And maybe with that, we feel some disconnection from the promise, from the hope, from the faith, from the memory that we have known there. It's all too natural that we would feel displaced. And so it's good for us this morning to take another look at the word place as Jesus speaks it. This word comes from a verb that means to stay, to remain, to be at home, or to abide, as we hear it most of all translated. And you probably recognize that as a theme throughout John's gospel. It appears some 40 times, like it does right at the beginning of John's gospel with the very first followers. Andrew, Peter's brother, is the first to speak to Jesus and asks him this question right at the outset: Rabbi, where are you staying? That is to ask, where are you abiding? Or said another way, in what place can we find you? In some ways, we could understand the rest of the gospel as an answer to that question. Where are you staying? Where can we find you? And Jesus responds famously, come and see, and then he finds so many ways to show them and to show us where he is staying, where he can be found, where his home is. The answer, of course, is not tied to a corner or held in any walls. It's not a cathedral of their memory or a physical place at all. It's what we hear him say in John chapter 15 on this final night of his life. Abide in me, and I will abide in you. In other words, to the question of where is he staying, where is his place, Jesus says to them, as he says once more to us this morning, all of us scattered and displaced, you can find me with you, always. And in that promise, let us all find our place today.